And welcome back, everyone, to UKSG Green 2025, to our race of Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge, Atari ST versus Amiga. We are finally going to find out which of those consoles is coming out on top. For some reason, no one ever submits BBC Micro. Right, so we have Howlin' Mad Mike racing Tiny Tim with Viper on comms. Take it away.
Oh, well, I'm Howlin' Mad Mike. This is Tiny Tim.
Hello there, folks. My name is TinyTim78. We are going to absolutely categorically prove whether the Amiga is superior to the Atari ST, or it could well be that the Atari ST is superior. I'm not going to admit that until after the race. And we do have the wonderful Viper here, who's going to keep us apart. And he's going to invigilate, yeah. So it's going to be entertaining.
Right, let's lay some ground rules. Firstly, no punches below the belt. Second thing, just go for it basically and win.
Thank you, Viper.
That's it.
Just to clarify, unlike last time, if you remember from the last UKSG, me and Tim ran this on easy difficulty, and we both ran the Amiga version. I'm running the superior Atari ST version today.
There we go.
And we are another change as well. We're doing this on the medium difficulty, which it's a little bit weird because the last 3 tracks on easy are arguably harder than most on medium.
They are.
Medium is more plateaued. It's more of an average difficulty.
It's more average. The last couple are quite tricky.
Yeah.
And there's one or two that could catch you out unless you're paying attention.
And it seems to me, at least, that in the last few races, the AI cars speed up a little as well. They seem a lot faster.
What to play for then?
All to play for, yeah. Hopefully nobody runs out of fuel, because that's just a game over, particularly in medium as well. If we run out of fuel,
that's what happened to me the last time. Over. So I'm actually distracted by that bouncing Amy head that Argit's holding. It's worrying me. It's very scary.
Right. Well, are we ready on time?
Okay, here we go.
We get started.
Well, for starters, because I'm a gentleman, I will allow you to have the Amiga audio. It's not as good as the ST, but
much superior. Much superior. There's an actual reason why we're getting the Amiga audio.
Hey, knowing hitting him before the bell. Come on.
Right.
You know the rules.
We start when we select the radio channel here, so I'll count us in. Okay? And good luck.
Thank you. Good luck, Tim.
Okay, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go! Here we go. Finland.
Track record by Nelson Pickers. Now, you will notice Tim's does load slightly faster. That's just a quirk of the ways we're emulating this. So he has a slight advantage, but I don't think that's going to be a problem because I've got skill.
Yeah, Mike has a much better time than me on this game, so I'm quite happy to admit that. But this superior system is the superior system.
So I have a role to play in this. So I'm not just co-commentator; I'm the instigator. So, Mike, please explain why is the Atari so much better than the Amiga?
It released earlier, for starters. It came out about a year or 2 before the Amiga. So you know the Amiga just copied what the ST did, really. The ST was not necessarily the better gaming system because the Amiga sold slightly better because it was cheaper and by proxy just appealed to the market better. I mean, in its later years they did reduce the price of the ST quite a lot to try and compensate, but the Amiga was predominantly the gaming system, and as such, a lot of games were more directly ported for it. But as you can see here, the two versions are very, very, very similar.
Now, I want to just kind of quickly ask, wasn't the Atari ST the console that had that dreadful ET landfill?
No, that's the 2600.
Yes! Yes, Viper!
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
That was the 2600, and that was before the Jack Tramiel days. And as everyone knows from both Commodore and Atari, Jack Tramiel was nothing other than somebody in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
So that brings me nicely over to Tim. The Amiga. Why is it so much better than the ST?
The Amiga is, in my opinion, absolutely the better system, primarily from a hardware perspective, from a technical perspective. I think the Amiga has its own specific chips that allow it to perform better in terms of the graphics. Generally, not always, but generally, and I would absolutely say that the music was superior on the Amiga generally. Than the ST. They were both very, very similar. Similar sort of cost, out at a similar sort of time. Very, very much, as far as I'm aware, the Amiga significantly outsold the ST.
Yes.
But that is primarily down to, as Mike said, price point.
Right.
In the first instance, primarily price point.
A lot of music from the 80s, though, was written on the ST. Pretty much everything Fatboy Slim did was sequenced on an Atari ST.
Oh, wow.
I did not know that. That's actually an interesting info to know. I think I quite like Fatboy Slim.
And you can see the difference here. Mike is already well ahead of me after the first race.
Yeah, but you catch him on the load times.
No, I won't.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. He's already a good 30 seconds ahead of me.
There is one stark difference. I think everyone's already probably noticed it already. So, Mike, you don't have the lines on the road, and yet Tim does.
What line? Oh,
the road,
I have to say, even I've never noticed that before. Yeah. Well,
that's because it's inferior.
It's because they want the more pure racing experience on the ST. You don't need no thrills.
You need to see where you're going.
Bells and whistles, just the pure racing experience. You may as well be behind the actual seat of a Lotus playing the ST version.
I'll tell you what, it's great being an instigator, isn't it? I should do this more often.
I do have to say, however, that I think we'll both agree that this version, both versions even, I will even give the Atari ST this, are superior to the ZX Spectrum version of this game.
Yes, very, very much so.
The Spectrum version of this game is a thing. I've never even finished the first race.
And I think we can both agree as well that Outrun is terrible on both systems as well.
It's not great. It's not. The music's okay, but
if you had Digital Duck, this would be a third option. Oh no, not the third option. Oh no. Oh no. We're bringing this back.
I think Doc Shucks needs to say something.
Does he?
Indeed, thank you very much. We have a £50 donation from AMT going towards a pirate I was meant to be. Since Zordon was not proud, I blew up the Megazord and I've decided to donate my earnings as a Power Ranger to a beautiful cause. Thank you very much, AMT, for that donation.
Thank you, AMT.
Thank you so much, AMT. Fantastic Power Rangers run really well. Really, really enjoyed it.
So, I wasn't born when these games were made, so I'm a bit stuck in the dark. I would definitely say the PS1 has better graphics than this, but then given the fact that console released in '94, how old was this game by that point? This game was a couple of years old, wasn't it?
This game was 1990.
So before the PS1 was out.
And
now, where did it all go wrong for the Amiga and the ST? There's a good question.
Well, it didn't really go wrong, more so that they were kind of... that every console and computer has its sort of limited lifespan. If you look at going way back to the sort of early 80s, the ZX Spectrum launched in the UK in 1982, and it was out. It was basically DOA. It was end of life by 92, but that was actually really good. 10 years is very, very good. The Amiga launched in 87, I believe. I don't know when the ST launched.
No, I think the Amiga was slightly later, maybe 88, because I think the ST520 that came with the integrated floppy drive was 87. I think I sound like a geek saying that.
Yeah, and they were, and I don't know about the ST, but the Amiga was certainly done by about 96.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So where did the ST fit into all of this? Where did that live? So just so I'm getting this right, obviously ST before Amiga, but where's the ST's end of life sort of thing where the Amiga was? Was
probably
it a case
slightly
of
earlier.
Was it ST ended, then Amiga took over, or was it like a year of...
I would say the Atari ST just unfortunately because, and I will be honest...
It just lost the console war.
Yeah, it did. It was always less popular, so there was less games for it.
Right.
And it sort of died out a little bit, probably a little bit earlier than the Amiga, but not really that much earlier, because what really killed the 16-bit computers in the UK certainly was the Super Nintendo.
Absolutely, and you have to consider what the systems were made for as well. Primarily, the Amiga and the ST were not marketed towards gamers. Gaming was actually, in terms of advertising, usually a very, very secondary kind of thing.
Absolutely.
You would, in like adverts, you would have like people in offices, or showing the date of them. Like the secretary sat down, like, "Here you go, boss. I produced your spreadsheets on your."
Those are the days.
Yeah, well, pretty. And that's how they were marketed. Gaming really was secondary, but that's kind of not dissimilar. Viper talking about the BBC Micro. That's kind of what separated the BBC Micro from the Spectrum. Spectrum just went, as much as Clive Sinclair hated the gaming aspect of it,
absolutely,
it's what made the system a success.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, like you were saying, how certain consoles were sold. I think obviously the PS2 was sold, the PlayStation 2 down the line was sold as a games console first, but also then was sold as an entertainment system. But this had the reverse effect then, by the sounds of it. It was sold more of a home computer rather than an actual games console.
You just reminded me then as well, the Atari Jaguar, you remember that? That ended up being so...
Wasn't born yet, but yeah.
It was so unpopular it ended up being used in dentists' offices as an X-ray machine.
Oh, wow! I like that.
They actually repurposed the cases to...
Oh, wow.
Do you know what? That would be the deadliest Atari Jaguar I've ever heard of.
It's...
an X-ray machine.
Atari kind of just suffered as well because of... That's Jack Trammell. He was.
Would have been the first time.
He was.
Yeah. It wasn't the first time.
He was very, very much a businessman when it came to computers. He invested the bare minimum and wanted the
profit,
maximum profit, and it's
It kind of reminds me of we were speaking about Atari then as well. It does remind me a lot of the Driver Gate. For those that may not be remember that. That was also another bad decision made by Atari. Albeit that was the modern version of what went wrong, wasn't it? That was more my generation.
Atari was more of a name then than an actual...
more of a brand at that point, wasn't it, really? Yeah.
I mean, crikey, I think even some of that really awful Leisure Suit Larry game was technically an Atari game.
I thought it might be like
that. Oh, that was awful.
Oh, dude. There is actually a couple of things we can probably mention. So with the consoles being as old as they are, we had a few things in particular. But I do believe we might be wise to introduce our host, maybe. Have we got any time?
Yeah.
Have we got time, yeah?
Yes, thank you very much. We got a £10 donation from none other than Third Option. Attached to Kill or Spare the Creature. Spare the Creature, £10 goes toward that with the note you called. And then we have £25 from Bake the Dave going towards A Pirate I Was Meant to Be song. £25. Thank you very much.
Back to you.
How close are we with the Pirate I Was Meant to Be incentive? We've got to be getting close to that 300 now, surely.
Let me check real quick. So, Pirate I Was Meant to Be, we're on £185 and 60 pence of a total of 300. So we're over the hump. And for Kill or Spare the Creatures, we're on £65 in total, 31 towards Spare the Creature and 25 towards Kill the Creature. So Spare the Creature is in the lead.
Excellent, excellent.
So I do have one genuine question. So obviously playing these sorts of games when you guys were younger, the main thing in particular is a case of nowadays a lot of indie games and stuff like that, like Hot Shot Racing and Horizon Chase Turbo and that sort of thing, have adapted this old style of game. Now, have you played either of them? And if you have, what are your thoughts, genuinely speaking?
I've played Horizon. I've played
Horizon Chase Turbo, Top Racer Collection, something like that.
I played Horizon Chase Turbo. Very, very good game. Actually, I'd say for someone a bit younger, probably a better access point to games of this ilk.
This type. Yeah, agreed.
I do remember specifically when Tim got his hands on it, and he was like, ooh.
I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. We recommend picking it up. The guy who wrote the soundtrack
did the soundtrack for this.
Yeah. I was just about to say, it wasn't the same bloke. I'm sure it was.
It was.
It turns out game soundtracks can be good.
Oh yes.
Take that modern AAA game industry.
I mean,
anyway.
I don't know. Here's the thing, Mike, and I'm being fully sort of honest here, not trying to be rude. I honestly, for me, Amiga games, it's the music that I remember. I would struggle to know any Atari ST sort of standout acts, really. I imagine you've got one or two, but...
there's certainly some great music on the ST, but the problem is that, as you said earlier, and even I'm not going to deny this, the Amiga had a custom sound chip. It had more sound channels, etc. And in terms of actual audio quality, it was just a lot better than the ST. The ST was, as I said, it was kind of built to a budget. It shared the same kind of Motorola CPU and sound chip as, I think it's had the exact same sound chip as what was in the Spectrum, so, you know, that kind of dates it a little, but there are certainly some good ST music out there, but it's very much in the Spectrum, that 8-bit kind of ilk rather than 16-bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, the music for me, as I've said before, if anybody's watched my streams or seen me sort of do any of these runs, for me the music is a very, very important part of a game. And one of the things that I love about this game is the music. I've played this game for 30 odd years and I still love the music.
Yeah, it only has the four. Well, it is four tracks.
Four tracks, yeah.
But
four tracks.
they're all really good.
Yeah.
I mean, some I probably one is my least favourite. 2, 3, or 4 are the ones I tend to pick usually. But they're all really, really good. And I will say, getting back to shots fired, if you do want to actually try these games out, ST emulation is really easy. And you just get yourself an emulator, you get yourself a TOS file, and away you go. How is Amiga emulation, Tim? How easy is that to get running well?
No comment. It requires a little bit of nous.
Finicky.
But yeah, it can be a little finicky. But once you get there, the results are worth it.
I'm
worth the reward.
I'm actually just going to shout out, if you do want to try Amiga gaming, there is, I can't remember the chap's name, but it's called Amiga Game Selector, and it is 11 out of 10 good. It's a kind of a passion project of one guy, and he's put together like an inbuilt Amiga emulator with all menus, all the games are all there. It's all literally just download it, play it, and it's really, really good. So if you want to get into this kind of ilk of gaming, get the Amiga Game Selector. It's a pretty fat download, but it's well worth it.
Also, you guys race across the world quite a fair bit. Morocco, what did I just see?
Yes.
Really
Uruguay. I was just on Uruguay.
Some of these countries you don't get in racing games anymore.
There used to be a Moroccan Grand Prix at one point, did there not? Maybe before your time, Viper.
Maybe. Probably was. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember.
There was a Swedish Grand Prix at one point.
There was. It ran for one occasion, and I think that was Niki Lauda that won it in the fan car. Maybe or Jody Scheckter won. I don't know. It was 1978 or something. Way before I was born. Don't ask me how I know who won. I think it's Jody Scheckter in the fan car. I don't know.
Sorry, now you've just got me thinking of the Swedish chef doing the commentary.
Scooty birdie, scooty.
Very confused. The
Scooty birdie,
Swedish
scooty. From bloody Sesame Street. Christ. That was the Muppets, wasn't it?
It was the Muppets.
Not Sesame Street, the Muppets.
No, we're very much the Muppets, the Swedish chef.
Elmo's probably in the crowd somewhere. You're going,
now, I believe, from what I can see, we're actually fairly close. We're still not... Mike's still ahead of me. But we are reasonably close.
I don't have my splits, so I don't even know what race I'm on at the moment.
Morocco.
Elmo feels really hard done by.
Oh no. Go away, Elmo.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Elmo, leave now.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Elmo. Don't come back. I'm just saying what everybody thinks.
I think Skenmy wants some donations, and he wants to read them in Elmo voice.
No.
And this is why Elmo's never coming back, folks.
Thank you.
He wants 1 donation, 2 donations, 3.
This has turned into Sesame Street.
Go away.
Anyway, moving back to hand.
Yeah, thank you.
Moving back. God, I've lost train of thought now. Right, SNES. We'll go with it's the console that knocks the Amiga off its perch, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. Pretty much.
So at the time of when you had the SNES and everything, it had the Top Gear games. Now these took very much the style of these sort of games, correct?
So Top Gear was very much almost like a love letter to this, really. In fact, I'd almost go as far as a rip-off of
I
it.
was about to ask
used to say
thoughts
music.
on this.
It used to say music, some of it.
Was it a case of when that released, was it a case of, well, bloody hell, I've got to have one of them, the graphics look amazing, or was it more of a case of, you've ripped off Lotus Esprit, or what sort of thoughts were there?
Well, I'll go with this and get your thoughts, Mike. I honestly think that the SNES certainly in the UK, from my sort of memory and recollection, was around one game. There was one game, and it wasn't Super Mario World. There was one game that everybody wanted. No. There was one game that when I was growing up, everybody wanted, and it was expensive too. You know what the one I'm thinking of, Mike?
Mario Kart?
No.
What kind of genre? Give me a clue.
Fighting.
Oh, Street Fighter 2.
Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Street Fighter 2 sold the SNES.
It certainly did.
Absolutely.
Great game, though. I mean...
very good game.
I should also point out as well that by the time the Super Nintendo came along, the market had kind of split. If you wanted your professional system, PCs were a thing then.
Yes.
You didn't need to buy like a do everything.
Well, this is where Windows had Windows 95, eventually 98.
That was a bit earlier than that, though.
DOS.
Late DOS,
Yeah.
Windows 3. 95 is really what cemented the difference. But
95 was the start of the PC taking off as a gaming platform.
Fun fact, I forget which one was it? One of the Windows. You know how the whole System 32 is a virus crap that people used to fall for, and they all delete the
delete your System 32 file.
Yeah, did you know some Windows, I think Windows 98 included, can actually run even if you delete the files? It can still run. To break it, you actually need to like destroy the system folder properly, but it still runs. You delete System 32, it still runs.
Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. I've had a really good start to this race.
Sorry, there's some trivia for you.
First place is giving me a little headache. No, that was a really good start to that track.
Yeah, no, I'm a wee bit more further behind now, but...
That's actually Tiny Tim in a car inside your console.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not doing amazingly well here, but it's fun. We're having fun. We're raising money for charity. That's all that matters.
It doesn't... I would say as well that just because somebody might be in the lead now, that the car NG, as I call it in this game, can be very, very, very punishing. And
it is.
You can have a very nice race ruined very quickly by just the enemy cars, and I will still call them the enemy cars. They're not AI. They're just designed to get in your way. If you have a bad race, and particularly the last 2-3 tracks on medium, if you have a bad first couple of laps, you may even struggle to finish in the top 10. So.
I think the worst thing about the game is the fact that if you get hit from behind, they stop you.
They can clip through you, yes.
It's like they don't lose any speed, but you lose all speed. I never thought that was fair. In any racing game that has that, I've never thought that was fair.
There's all manner of frustrating things in this as well. The fact that I'm lapping what is probably 12th place there, and he's only doing 70 mile an hour, and here's me tearing past at 150. As you say, the cars can clip through you from behind and then hit you, which is exceptionally annoying.
Yeah.
So the thing is, as well, is if I'm right in saying, we were talking about, you mentioned about Outrun as well. Granted, it was like don't play it on the ZX Spectrum, right?
On any.
Don't play this.
Don't play the very original one.
Actually, the Spectrum version of Outrun was somewhat passable. It was
okay.
It was these versions.
So I got the wrong version. But regardless, so obviously with the gaming industry, indie gaming industry, and so on, coming alive with the Top Racer collection, which was basically the Top Gear games from the 80s and 90s and so on. That came forward, obviously, Atari Chase 2, which was a dedicated game based on presumably these old games. That's where the whole base, game style, I guess, racing game style came from. Is it a case of that the market is too saturated, do you think? Or is it a case of it's nice to see that variety of classic style coming into the gaming industry?
Are we talking about these days?
Yes.
I would say
if like these sort of games these days.
I would say part of the problem, not necessarily just racing games, but modern games in general, it's indie gaming is a little bit too prevalent in that something breaking out now has to do it just has to like a bolt of lightning. It just has to get lucky if it's going to break out now. I think that's part of the problem. Just oversaturation now just stops a lot of really great games from getting played.
I have to say, and Mike Viper will not like this, but I'm going to be honest here. In my opinion, I think racing games as a whole, outside of Mario Kart, are a bit niche. Unfortunately.
That's why they never get picked up. That's why I have to make them exciting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, though. I
say that, not say
I mean, even at the time, this was a pretty niche game. There wasn't that many driving games on the Amiga. Certainly, there was this. There was Supercars 2. There was Jaguar XJ220.
All these games.
The others. Micro Machines, which was obviously totally different.
Total Driving for the Atari ST.
Oh, do you mean Hard Driving?
Hard Driving, sorry. Total Driving was another game. Still, Hard Driving.
The 2 frames per second experience.
There wasn't really a huge amount.
Fun fact, that game hit the algorithm on YouTube. Everyone did. It got like 400 views in a day and was like, bloody hell, this run's doing really well. Wait, it's Hard Drive. Oh, no. How's this getting the hits?
I think most people kind of just think that was only ever released on the Mega Drive, and I mean, it wasn't great on the Mega Drive, but it was a little better than the ST version. But did
it run at 5 frames instead of 2 frames a second?
It wasn't. I have to say, yeah, it wasn't much better. It was. It wasn't really a good contender, but you know, it's just one of those things. Really popular arcade game, ergo must have a home computer port.
I will actually quickly ask a question. Since you're both driving the car itself, what do you actually make of the Lotus Esprit itself as a classic car?
I think it was a very pretty car of its time for sure.
Would you buy one given the money? No. If you were given the keys to one, or
no, it's a Lotus.
No, I wouldn't buy one.
And this is
And
coming
that
from
bit-
somebody that's owned like
What does that mean?
several Jaguars, and this is a Lotus. It's like even more unreliable.
I thought you'd say something like, at least it's not a TVR. Or is that too modern?
I think the TVRs were nicer looking than the Lotuses. For as
I can't disagree with that.
for as rough as they
I am a massive
were.
TVR lover myself. Actually, saw a few at a classic car show last week. That was nice.
But I think we can all agree that
Wasn't many Lotuses there though.
No, I
I'm
wouldn't have thought
surprised.
so. No.
Oh, dear.
we
I
may
think
not
it
be
was
able
on
to
the
agree on the console, but we can at least agree that Jaguar was the better car brand.
Sorry, you mean the Jag?
The Jag.
Yeah, no,
Thanks,
Jaguar,
Top Gear.
Jaguar XJ220, I don't know if that was even ported to the ST, is definitely,
was.
it's definitely inferior to this game.
It was ported to the ST?
Yeah. And
There you go.
I am with Tim, actually. I think it's a pretty... Some people really love it, but
It's got good music, and that's about the only redeeming factor, really.
I get really confused sometimes because some people seem to really like that game, and I'm like, I really should. I want to like this game, and even I don't think it's very good. But
Speaking of the car games for the time, though, this got 2 sequels, doesn't it?
Yes.
Lotus 2 and Lotus 3.
Yes.
Is the music the highlight of those games, or is it a case of the game is just as good as the music?
many would argue Lotus 2 isn't as good as the first
No,
one,
it's not.
and Lotus 3 is the best of... kind of the most accessible of the 3, maybe, but
I think this is the best game of the 3.
I would struggle to make the case for it. But yeah, Lotus 2, definitely not the best.
No.
They just took it in the wrong direction.
And the thing with Lotus 2 for me, and it's going to sound a bit, I don't know what to call it really, there's no in-game music.
No.
And
Massive
for me,
mistake.
it makes a huge difference. It makes a massive difference.
Well, not for me at this precise moment, but
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, mine's got no sound, full stop. Speaking of sound, we haven't had our host. Should we have a host?
Yeah, let's get some Dark Shocks in here.
Why not?
I'm not jumping into that car discussion, but we've got a £10 donation from Mies LWD.
Hello, Mies.
Going to the A Pirate I Want to Be a donation incentive for £10. My favorite runners in one run are amazing. Shoutouts to Mike, Tim, and all the runners and volunteers out there. It's too bad I couldn't make it to UKSG this time. Better luck next time. Good luck with the run and the rest of the marathon. Go Viper with the commentary, and see you again on NSG or BSG Annual. Cheers, Mies LWD.
That you will.
thank you very much, Mies. And,
Mies, you're absolutely amazing
Thank you.
chap.
I love Mies. He's a
Yeah.
lovely guy.
He is. He's
Yeah,
great fun
missed
to
you,
be
Mies.
around.
Looking forward to seeing you hopefully at BSG.
I'm losing time here because I keep forgetting to hit the
Hit the flagpole.
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 That's okay. I think.
Or is that the start finish line? So that's actually something else. We've mentioned. I think this was mentioned in the previous run, but for the sake of this run, the reason why, presumably the reason why you hit the flagpole is to slow the car down fast enough so that you're able to start the next race
Yep.
quicker.
Yeah,
presumably.
it doesn't end until your car has come to a complete stop. So by
Right.
smashing into the flagpole, you bring it to an instant stop.
Gotcha.
Well, not
Gotcha.
an instant stop, but a lot faster. And it does make a massive difference. It really is legitimately like a 10-second time save hitting it.
Now, this is one of the harder races in medium. We're on to Argentina now, and this is where they go really fast. Also, I don't know.
Troll.
I presume it's the same. Yeah, there's a nasty corner in this track. See if you can spot it, Viper. You've probably seen it before, so
Yeah, absolutely right, though. This track ramps the speed up quite a lot. Not you, just the enemy cars. If
Yeah.
you're not
Just spotted it.
if you're not in first place by about lap 4 or 5, you're probably not finishing in first. But go on then, Viper. What's the
It says right but goes left.
exactly
Yeah.
so? And it does that a lot.
Only
on
because
hard
I
difficulty.
think I have seen that before, but I just about remembered something about that.
Yeah.
It's like, sure, there's something to do with the corner signs.
And you know, it's incredibly annoying because I know in my head this track is all left turns. And
Yep.
yet every now and then I'll still turn
Yeah.
right when I see that.
when I first started playing this game when I was a lot younger, I always struggled at this track. Germany and this one were the two that I really, really struggled with, because that bend would always throw me off.
But otherwise, this is really kind of like a speed ring kind of track. It
is.
There's not really much to this one, other than just racing cleanly and getting into first place as quick as you can. Because as I said, the problem with this one is that if you don't get to first quickly, the other cars are going so quickly that they don't have to pit, by the way. Only you pit, and they overtake you when you're pitting, and if you're not careful, you go into the pits in 5th or 6th and you'll come out in 12th, and you only have a few more laps left to get competitive.
Well, I was going to say, would you like some interesting news?
Go on then.
You're both in the lead of the race,
Okay.
and it's not even 5 laps yet. You're just coming up at the end. Tim's on his 4th, but still.
I'm going to have to try and remember to hit the post again. I said I have missed 3, and
I've missed more than that, so.
So this is looking
we're
good
still
so far.
fairly close, though.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Oh, that's not going to help. Hit a wee barrier there, but right, I'm going to do it here.
If I'm not mistaken as well, speaking of the Lotus Esprit, it was the S2 that was popular in James Bond, wasn't it?
It was the Esprit,
the white one.
yeah.
There was certainly the white. There was
The white
certainly a
one.
white one in James Bond. Yeah. Which film? Moonraker was it?
It was
I
Moonraker,
think
I
so,
think.
yeah, where he says, "Can you swim?" and then just plows it into the sea.
Yeah,
I'm going to be honest.
Glasses.
Not a massive fan of James Bond.
Fair. Is it? Be honest. Is it the same reason everyone else doesn't like it? It's too British, too bold, too in your face.
I'm
I guess.
going to probably be even more blasphemous. I think if you've seen one, you've seen them all.
I've got good memories of going to see my first James
be
Bond
Austin
film
Powers.
in the cinema, which was GoldenEye, and there was
GoldenEye's a good
huge
one.
bunch
Yep.
of us sitting at the back of the cinema as a group, and just being delinquent kids, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with that, so that's a bit of a good memory for me.
First and best of Brosnan's ones, in my opinion. Funnily enough, I was thinking you might have said something like Goldfinger with Sean Connery as Bond.
That was before I was born, Viper, so...
It's still my favourite.
USA! Right. This is another tricky track. I'm not a big fan of this one either.
Speaking of age, I got age shamed on a somewhat relevant. Thanks, Carl. He nearly ran me off the track. Then I got age shamed last week. I was working away, getting something to eat. I was talking to the young lady waitress, and she was talking about taking a driving test. And she turned to me and made the Lord strike me down if I'm lying. She said, "It was better in your day. You didn't have to take a theory test."
Oh, wow!
And I thought, "Wow, thanks."
You didn't even have to say a word.
How old do you think I am?
Ouch!
The fact that she specifically says to you, back in your day, immediately you're like, oh, God, I feel the heartburn.
And I thought, yeah, great, yeah.
See, the problem is,
Thanks for that.
was she in her late 20s like me?
No, she was about 18, so I'll
It's when you get people in bloody mid to late 20s and they're like, oh, well, it was a lot better. And I'm like, come on, I'm not that old. I'm 28, I'm not bloody 10, am I? Or 60, or whatever, you know, I'm not. Oh. So stupid. My condolences, Mike. I'm sorry you have to put up with that.
I know, it's...
Shame on you, lady waitress, whoever you are. You've been named somehow. Anyhow, moving back on track, literally.
oh, that was annoying. Just got past first then, and then I found a puddle.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a fan of James Bond, to be fair, Mike.
It's
fair, it's understandable. A lot of people
I'll watch it if it's on, but I would certainly not
You won't go out your way to watch
I would certainly not buy the box set or anything.
To be fair, that's kind of like me. I like James Bond, but I don't loathe it. I like it as a series, but again, like you said, same with me these days. If it's on, I'll watch it. If it's not, I'm not going to lose sleep over not watching it.
See that there on mine, that highlights one of the biggest pains in the backside on this track, and you have that long uphill straight.
Yeah, I had that earlier on.
And if you hit anything there, it is such a slow crawl back up the hill.
Yeah, I had that earlier.
You really, it better break. In fact, I'd argue that. Oh, thanks. Got forced off the track again. I'd argue that that's one of the biggest differences between easy and medium as well. Medium really does encourage braking. On a lot of tracks on the easy, you can literally just...
You have to use brakes in the race game?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh, and then I found a puddle, so this is going to be a bit slow.
Yeah, no, you're still well ahead
You're
of me
on a
now.
Sunday cruise, Mike. That's what you're on.
The computers can accelerate up that hill, just you can't. But as I said, the one thing I find the most frustrating in this game is that when you're tearing up on an enemy car and it's literally doing like 60, 70 miles an hour, and it's like, seriously.
We have a word for these cars: cheaters.
Yes.
This is being a bit unwieldy here. I'm struggling. I may struggle to qualify here.
It's understandable as to why you were saying these are more difficult.
Well, this is what I'm saying though with the car NG. If the enemy cars get in your way, and sometimes you have the even horrific situation where you'll hit a car and then you'll hit it again, and then it's even sometimes 3 times you'll hit the same car because it's just going at that awkward enough speed to just constantly be in your way.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I should qualify. Maybe. We'll see if I can get past. Oh, no, that's not so good. This is going to be a bit tight. This is going to be very tight, actually.
We believe in you, Tim. We believe in you.
So I legitimately sympathise. It's really on a lot of these tracks, it's luck. just how the other cars treat you.
Yeah. No, I think I'm all right as long as I don't get hit here. Oh, there we go.
Careful what you wish for.
Yeah, there we go. They're all going past me. Look, because I'm slow up the hill.
Yeah, it is.
Rubber banded.
It's horrific. You're just like. It's like a Jeremy Clarkson moment. You just want to go speed and nothing's happening.
Come on, I'm in a race. Move.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, I am on the last track, Tech, so you may want to get ready on my timer. You've still got like 4 minutes, but just a polite notice. The last track on medium's actually quite interesting as well. It's the only one where you don't have to... I'm trying to think of the correct wording for this. You have to pit before the penultimate lap.
Yes.
And that can make knowing how much fuel you've got to put in a little tricky.
It's also really, really tough as well.
Yes.
Again, I've got a good chance I might not qualify on it.
So time will essentially be when you cross the line.
When I cross
right?
the moment I cross the line.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I haven't looked at the clock yet, but
we're doing well.
I'm jinxing it, but this feels
try
well.
not to think about it. That's what I'd say.
The car RNG has been mostly kind to me, I have to say. I mean, for those of you who've watched me stream this, you will know that I'm on my best behaviour because this game just made me swear like a sailor at home.
I think in your submission for McCrathon it was, watch me as I swear for 40 minutes. Try not to swear for 40 minutes, that's what I meant. So,
it can be an incredibly frustrating game at times.
You've got this, I'm not going to qualify on this one.
I think this was also the reason why when me and Tim was talking about doing a co-op one, we obviously did that race, didn't we?
Yeah.
A few years back. It was a case of, I don't know if I'm going to get this. Like, originally we was going to do this, do the medium between the two of us.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I can't even get past the third race. We better move this to easy, so we did.
Yeah.
Thank God Tim knows how to drive, because holy hell, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, it was a fun, and the competitive.
You
What really got me was when you play it together, it really is competitive.
Yeah,
because Viper was really getting in my way, and I was getting in Viper's way, and it was definitely quite something.
Which music track did you pick, by the way, Tim?
3.
3. Okay, it's all right. If Tech can oblige at the end of the game, we may let them hear what my track 3 sounds like. Oil.
Yeah, I've got to concentrate here because I'm probably not going to qualify.
Need to make sure I refuel and...
Very stone cold silence for both runners here.
Yeah, got to concentrate. This is the hardest race in the difficulty.
Oh, that's fair. Take your time.
It is the last race.
I think Tech will be happy though.
Are you on Japan, Tim?
He is.
Is he?
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the same race
Yeah,
as you.
I'm on
wow.
Japan.
This is
You're
super close.
Probably about a lap and a bit different.
Yeah, I'm not going to beat you, but I'm going to struggle to qualify. So that's my concern.
Oh, well, it's at the last race anyway. What's that matter?
Point taken. Yeah, technically it's still run complete.
Well, I did this at ESA when you did the commentary with Robo Viper. I won every race
that
apart
run
from
went
Japan,
by
and I didn't qualify.
I'll be honest, that run went by in a blur for me and Robo. I'll be fair.
I won every single race on medium apart from this one, and I there we go. Okay.
I'm not even just saying that. I will be magnanimous enough to say that the car RNG for me has been very, very, very kind this run.
Yeah, I've made a lot of mistakes, and to be honest, I mean you've got like a 2 or 3 minute lead on me on the leaderboard, so I knew I was going to be struggling, but it's been fun.
Because it's less on the ST, by the way. Just to kind of quickly ask this question, because it's less loading on the ST, is it a case of there's less car RNG than there is on the Amiga?
No,
or is it about the same?
I've played both games, and I have noticed, in terms of gameplay, absolutely no difference. Even how
Apart
the
from
car,
graphical difference.
how the car feels, drives, how the enemies behave, they are, as far as I can tell, exactly identical. Oh, that was nice. You know when you hit an oil slick and it actually gets you out of the way or something?
It's very cool. It's good when that happens.
Time is coming up on me very shortly, probably about 10 seconds. And that's time.
GG!
Count that at 36:48 for you. Just looking at the
That's
time
very
at the
good.
time. Just looking at that time.
I'm not sure if that's a PB. It may be.
Very good.
I can check. I'm co-commentator, so I have the ability.
3640. That's very close to my PB. And I play this on the Amiga, which does load slightly faster.
Have a look.
I'm concentrating here because I'm
okay.
in decent position, so I'm just going to go try and take this home. I'm not going to win, but...
Never does its thing, does it? Right, see, by the time I load the live page up, you'll have finished.
Probably. Right, I'm going to watch this guy on the oil. Oh, oil right into him. That's so good.
Time's coming up for Tim shortly.
Yep, here we go.
That's
time. There we go. Well done. Did you win every race?
I did.
Oh, okay.
So
I did not.
Sorry, I'm a little distracted now. So what's the...
But I got 165.
What did we say it was? 3648?
3648. Sorry, we're just... indulge us for a second, viewers, while we just look into this, because I'm legit... That is like... I think that really is like close to my PB.
Oh, if only.
While we're doing that, Dark Shocks, you got something to say?
Yes, we've got a special surprise for you for the winner of today's race. That is
Oh, I got
one for the second place, a small token of appreciation, and a medal, a trophy for the first place.
Oh.
We have finally figured out the absolute, definite best console of all times.
Yeah,
We
well
are
done,
also
Mike.
here real quick with a £30 donation from AMT. Major congratulations to TinyTim78. Mike. I always believed you would win and that your console is superior. To the runner-up, Mike /TinyTim. I hope your console is not hurt from that damage. Would you believe it? I got this donation half an hour ago.
Well done, mate.
Right, thank you, everyone. Yeah, that was actually fun. That was super
It was a lot
close.
of fun. It was really close, actually.
Yeah.
I made a lot of mistakes, so I'm quite happy with that, to be honest.
What's the time?
That might have been a PB, possibly.
36. Yeah, that's a PB.
I think
That
it was
Yes!
a PB.
Well
Hey!
done!
That is and that was me for it missing 3 flagpoles and on the slightly slower ST version. So that may have even been a new record
Well
in the
done,
category.
mate.
But
Well done.
Thank you very much, everyone. I've got nothing to say, really, because you're going to see a lot more of me, unfortunately, over the next few days. So, Tim, Viper, anything to say? Other than the fact that the ST is clearly, and I have to say...
Oh, yeah, we should probably show these too, actually.
Yeah, these are amazing, by the way.
So, one of our guests here, he knows who he is, has made these.
They are fantastic.
Got the,
you can't really see them there, but they're
the
amazing.
Amiga on the top and
the
Atari on the mics.
Yeah, they're
So
brilliant.
shout out to Gene for that one.
Yes, thank you very much for those. But, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've got some shoot-em-ups, have we not?
We've got some
coming up
amazing...
next?
Stay tuned for this. You do not want to miss this. The most amazing display of skill coming
Reload!
up.
Reload!
So, yeah. We will hand it back over to Dark Shocks. Cheers.
Back to you, Dark Shocks.
Thank you very much, Mike, TinyTim, and Viper.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry,
No.
I'm really... Tech, could you just switch to my audio just so everyone can hear the difference? Can you do that? I'm really sorry, I completely forgot all about that, but...
All good, we'll try to figure that out.
The ST might be the better system, but in terms of music, I might give it Tim once you've heard this.
Uh-oh.
Listen to these bangers.
I'm not hearing it, so...
Well,
Oh, I can hear it.
for those of you at home, that is why, and yeah, I'm even going to concede now. The reason I don't run it with music is the ST has fewer sound channels, and I can't hear when I'm running out of fuel on the ST version, so I do it with no music at all. But that's it. Sorry, back to you, Dark Shock. Sorry for the interruption. I just
All
thought
right,
that was
very
worth.
much. Another big round of applause to Mike, TinyTim, and Viper. Up next will be Sonic Anim with Time Crisis 1 and 2 back to back. This was my end of my host session. I'm Dark Shocks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for just getting me for helping me with hosting. The next host is going to be Robblehead, and I'll see you all later.